Hi, I'm Paul from pdhsports.com, leading online racket specialist, and today I'm doing a review and a little bit of a comparison between two new squash rackets from Head. These are the new speed rackets. So we've got the Speed 135 Slimbody and the Speed 135. So new for 2019, they're coming with Graphene 360. So the graphene is kind of like is laid as a sort of structural base within the racket, but now with the 360 graphene, they've also introduced it around the head. So the idea is that the graphene technology really kind of lays the foundation for a nicer feel and a little bit more energy transferred through to your shot. So it'll be interesting to see, how we'll get on and whether we can feel the difference in the new improved graphene technology. Both these rackets have got a kind of head-light balance, 135 gram weight, but you can see the Slimbody slightly slimmed down. Also, it comes from factory with the fan stringing pattern. So the idea behind this is it's going to give a little bit more control. So I expect this one to have a bit more control. This comes from the factory settings with a traditional stringing pattern, slightly thicker set racket, so very much this is more targeted as a power racket, but you can also change the stringing pattern on this. So if you were to customize the stringing, we've recently done some reviews with Laura Massaro, and she's using this racket and she's using the fan stringing pattern just to give it a little bit more control. So let's take these rackets on court and see how they play. Right, so first of all, got the normal 135, so it feels head light, so very maneuverable. Talk about the power. So what I've found when I'm middling it, getting really good power. So really like the cosmetics of this. Goes well with my shoes. So just taking it through on the power. Certainly getting that power. I feel like, because this is head light, I feel like you do have to time the ball pretty well to get the power. A few times I've kind of hit it around the edge and it's been a little bit dead, but certainly when you middle it, I can feel that power going through the racket. But it's got that sort of head feel which allows, it's a kind of confidence building racket. It feels like it's going to be hard to hit a really bad shot no matter where you hit the ball. Right, so we've now got the Slimbody that putting through paces on the length. So it's really weird because they are the same weight, but this one just feels, I feel like it feels heavier. I don't know whether it's just today and today's hitting, but there's no doubt that you feel the ball more, and if anything, it's probably more reliable on the length. The normal speed racket just seemed a little bit easier to use. So I guess if I was playing loads, you probably I think you get more of a consistent feel on this one. But there's definitely a lack, slightly less power I'm having to hit, but see, when I really middle that, there's power there, but I feel like my concentration's gone up just a notch on this racket. I'm not. Yeah, just having to hit it a little bit more with a concentration to find the middle to get that power out of the racket. Okay, so taking the racket now and the short stuff, and for me, this is where it actually excels a little bit better. Like, it's really maneuverable, and I feel like I can tack the ball into the front of the court. The racket itself feels quite light, so again, anybody that's looking for a maneuverable, attacking style player, really, I think it suits the more faster racket speed. And yeah, certainly, as I've moved up the court, I feel a bit more comfortable with this racket. So I've now got the Slimbody in my hand, and just off the first impressions, big difference in the way they feel. This one, even though it's a Slimbody, I don't feel as though doesn't seem to be as maneuverable, but certainly it's like there's more feel, a little bit more feel, I think, on the shot. So there's clear differences between the two. Probably a more consistent feel coming from this racket, but I actually, up close, I actually preferred the normal model on my short shots. Okay, so I'm just back from hitting with these new Graphene 360 speed rackets. If I come back with some conclusions, first of all, something that is important to me is the look of the racket. So I do like the new look of these rackets. The whole white thing from the shaft down to the grip, I don't love. I think I would change the grip actually and put colour, because I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I felt like it kind of gets lost a little bit. Certainly when I put this one back in my hand, the cosmetic and everything is so strong on this racket. It feels, and it does play a bearing in my own squash. I like to be comfortable with what I'm using, and like I said, I just found the whole white thing it kind of got a little bit lost for me. But cosmetically, they are both very strong rackets. Again, I haven't had a huge hit. This is more kind of like me on the court on my own, hitting with the ball, and I was much more drawn to this one. I just found this racket, the 135, the normal one, not the Slimbody, to be a little bit more of a fun racket to use. There was certainly more ball feel with this one, but you had to work a lot harder to get much out of the racket. So you could obviously change the stringing pattern, go for the more traditional stringing pattern, would probably add a little bit more power to it, which might be a good option. But most people are going to be buying the racket as it is. So if I was going to choose these rackets as they are, I would probably go for the normal speed, because of the way I felt a lot more comfortable around my short shots. It just seemed to fit a lot easier. And then also you would have the option later down the line, if you wanted to draw a little bit more control, you could change the stringing pattern. Can I feel the new 360 technology? It's kind of like what I find with the graphene, they talk about it being an energy transfer, but sometimes it kind of feels to me as though it almost, it can only be explained as slightly mutes the feel of the racket, which in a good way, but what that does is it quiets down any vibration, and then you are just getting like a really clean hit. And that's for me where the technology comes in. There's, it just provides a smooth hitting experience. So yeah, so interesting there to try the two. Both headlight, both maneuverable. Certainly my pick would be the normal speed, just because I found today I found it a lot easier of a racket to sort of play with. So yeah, these are new. They're going to be available at pdhsports.com. It's the new Head Graphene 360 speed squash rackets.